How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Ethereum update. There's actually some positives. So a macro low had been recovered over here on this move back up after a macro lower low. So you could technically argue until 4K is reclaimed, this could be a macro lower high. So this could be a corrective pump up before continuation lower, because that is the macro trend now. We had a high, this is slightly lower. So we've got a high, our low, lower high, lower low. So in order to change that trend, now that we've got this lower low, we need to put in a higher high. So if it comes up to here, we form a macro lower high. Yes, of course, you have chances as long as this macro support 2.1K holds, could create a higher low. Maybe that's an inverse head and shoulders pattern over here. And that's what's going to send ETH to new all-time highs. You can see targets up as high as 8,000 US dollars. And from today's current price, this is an extremely huge gain, especially for the number 2 crypto, a 200% move. Of course, other altcoins, if ETH is doing that, should expect like a 5x, for example. Now, in the immediate short term, if we zoom in on Ethereum, we can actually see it's been stabilizing over the past couple of weeks. It's actually maintained all the moving averages throughout that period. But we can see maintaining this as support and the 618 and 65, 2.7 to 2.8K as resistance. So pretty much just ranging between these 2 points, waiting for a move from Bitcoin. Go check out my Bitcoin update that I've done already earlier today. We were pretty much discussing about how it's pretty much the final dip before price discovery mode. And if Bitcoin is to go into price discovery mode, starts next run, well, altcoins are just naturally going to get forced up. And that actually makes sense if Ethereum has been hovering above the moving averages. Yes, there's resistance up ahead that's been keeping us down, but we can argue that it's Bitcoin that's deciding when this should move. So once Bitcoin has ended its dip, Ethereum has just consolidated throughout that period. Some other altcoins have taken 20, 30, 40% hits in that same time period. So nice to see the stability with Ethereum. However, of course, on the way down, not as stable as the likes of Bitcoin. And that means it has a lot more work to do in order to get back to where it was, right? Bitcoin already made a new all-time high, for example, 111, almost 112K. Whereas ETH, we're just trying to get back to the highest point of this year, which is 4.1K. But this is not actually, okay, this chart doesn't show everything, but this is not actually the previous all-time high. That's just slightly under 5K. Don't get me wrong, with Bitcoin breaking out, going into price discovery mode, I also believe that Ethereum will break out, make a macro higher high, and target between 5.5 and 8K. All we are waiting for is the go-ahead signal from Bitcoin. Stay tuned with the updates on the channel. If you want further exclusive content and want access to live streams where you can ask me any questions, check out the Discord or the one-to-one mentorship consultation calls, and we can also design a DCA plan for you as well. Use the links down below. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.